Yo, welcome to Crazy Stupid Podcast.
I'm Cory Cavin.
I'm Kevin Doyle.
My name's Jon Sieber.
Welcome to the Bradshaw Boys, a podcast where three guys are watching romantic comedies.
It's crazy. It's stupid. Part 3. Love.
It's love.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what we referred to this movie on a different podcast, and I said Crazy Stupid, and Corey's like, eyes like, we're like, what? And I was like, what? He's like, I thought you were gonna say Crazy Stupid Asians.
Because
Because you weren't thinking about that movie.
I wasn't thinking about this movie. I was thinking of Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Which we should watch at some point.
Yeah, totally.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Crazy Stupid Asians.
That was just cracking me up today because you were like legitimately like, whoa. And I was like,
It's called Crazy Rich Asians. Okay. But that's not what we're watching. We're watching
Crazy Stupid Love.
We're watching Crazy Stupid Caucasians.
Crazy Stupid.
From the Caucasus region.
From the Caucasus regions. Aren't most of the main characters in this movie Caucasians?
Yeah, I think all of them.
I think all of them. Yeah.
Except for Marissa Tomei is Italian.
She is Italian. She's from the region of Italia.
She's a Sicilian. She's her cousin is a Vinny.
How come you never call me back?
How come you never call me back? You come here. You eat my pussy. My puchenta.
You lick at my butthole?
You lick my butthole and then you never call.
You never call me back.
You never call me back. And your son is an asshole. That's Marissa Tomei in this. She actually has a regular voice. Yeah, this movie, I don't know.
I'm loving it.
To be honest, it might get the award for best story so far.
I think this one kind of came out of the blue for us in our rom-com expectations.
Yeah.
What does this movie and McDonald's have in common?
I'm just loving it.
Yeah, da, 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 da. I'm loving
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't sue us, McDonald's.
No, please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us. I love a McDonald's ice cream cone. So good.
Very good. You know who came with I'm Loving It?
Pusha T.
Yeah. And JT. I think Justin Timberlake came. Did Justin Timberlake come with some of it too?
I think so. And Pusha T also came up with We Have the Meats.
Did he really? He also did something for Burger King recently.
I met at a party the woman who recorded that.
Wow.
The I'm Loving It song?
Yeah. And I was like, how much did you make? She's like, enough to put my brother and sister and I through college and I'll buy cars. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Lots of money.
Where'd you meet them?
I was at a party in high school. So she could have just been completely lying.
Well, I want to know.
Wait, was she in high school?
Yeah.
She was in high school?
That's what she said. That's, now that I think about that as a 30-something-year-old man.
If she was in high school.
She was blowing smoke so far up.
If she was in high school and she told you she made enough money to put herself through college.
Just get that shit?
I mean, yeah, but also how could she have put herself through college if she
I was just standing there. I thought, what do I think of when and I said, I'm loving it. They had the cassette tape.
I'm going to look it up. And if it's someone from...
You may look it up right now?
From Winnetka, Illinois, I think she was from, then I'll believe it. If not...
What was her name?
Look it up.
I don't remember. It was in high school. A random girl I met at a party.
Was she hot?
Yeah, probably.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah. She was the dick mentor.
What is that?
Oh, you don't know about dick mentors?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Sorry. I was like, it sounds like, when you say it like that, it sounds like a fantasy thing. Like, oh, you have to go through.
He wasn't there.
You have to go through.
I know he wasn't there.
Did you tell him?
No.
You don't know what it is.
Oh, no. I'm thinking
that's the danger. That's honestly the danger in this new format.
I know.
Because listen, we all have to be there for at least part of the movie, but we, there's sometimes where it's like, Cory and John.
You know how we could have avoided the danger? You could have just gone along with me saying, I know what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing.
And then you were like, you weren't there, was he?
Hey, here's the showbiz curtain. You don't have to pull it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, the dick mentor. Sorry, I thought it was something else. And then I was like, oh, maybe it is something.
There's no danger if you yes and, Kevin.
I know.
That is.
I don't remember what it is though.
It was the high school student who is training Julie how to pick up older.
That's who it was. I was like, who's the dick mentor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
That's it. It's an inside joke. It's a podcast joke.
Dick mentor. Dick mentor is a high school girl who teaches.
I thought Dick Mentor was a football coach. Dick Mentor.
Well, we were trying.
Explain what the Dick Mentor is.
We were trying to figure out Steve Carell's babysitter.
I lied. It's not yada da da da. I'm loving it. It's at McDonald's. We love to make you smile. That's the one she said she recorded.
Whoa.
I didn't even remember that one.
At McDonald's, we like to make you smile.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
I don't remember that
It
one.
was that one. Sorry.
Is that Barry White on the podcast?
Hey.
So yeah, Dick Mentor was the girl that she's a high school girl who has sex with older men, and Steve Carell's babysitter went and asked her, like, how do you get older men? And she's like, I have big tits. And then she's like, yeah, but what else do you do? And she's like, goes back and forth and teaches her.
Right.
And then in the description of the plot, we were trying to figure out her name and what her role was. And she like teaches, and I was like, she's like a dick mentor. And then John started being like, hi, I'm Dick Mentor, and I'll teach you how to fuck older men.
That's great.
And I was like, who is the Dick Mentor? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Well, now I'm caught up. That's good. I feel like
all the listeners are just
feel
like,
like
we just listened to that.
we just listened to that last week. I feel like one of the listeners now.
Yeah.
This is one of the best podcast formats ever, where we recap what happened on our last podcast
to other people.
I mean, it is kind of like how now content is just like cannibalize your own content. We are literally doing podcasts about our podcast.
Can I ask you an honest to God question, Cory?
Yeah, please.
Since you enjoyed that, would you consider joining our Patreon?
Well, I guess it's gonna be hard to join the Patreon and also run it. But but I'll do it.
But you know what? I enjoyed that Dick Mentor bit so much. I think I will.
Well, I guess it deserves some of my money.
I'm like deep into McDonald's jingle
Lore?
slogans right now. Like I'm like literally reading the slogans that McDonald had in Trinidad and Tobago.
What is it?
I'm loving it.
Give me a Turkish one.
But in Turkey, it's McDonald's Gibisi Yoki.
Cool.
Give me a one from the UK.
There's a difference at McDonald's that you'll enjoy.
There's a difference at McDonald's that you'll enjoy.
Honestly,
In it, good food fast. The sign of a good burger is that it's got 2 lumps of sugar.
yeah. At Bondi Beach, we like.
Look at this one from winter 2009. That's McDonald's, but cozy.
What?
Is that in America?
Oh no, this is in UK for the Taste of America series in 2009. The slogan for McDonald's in UK was "That's McDonald's" with "Yeehaw."
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we
so
can
funny.
do a podcast about McDonald's slogans.
What's the first United States one?
Let's eat out.
Let's eat out.
1960 to
McDonald's.
65.
Hell yeah.
1960.
And then 60 to 67 was-
Samantha Jones wrote that one. I got a few others for you, sweetie. Oh man, that's
McDonald's. A hole is a hole.
Brought to you by Mr. Pussy.
brought to you by Mr. Pussy.
Hi, I'm Dick Mentor. See, I'm in on
Yeah,
it.
that's a good
We're
job.
back. We're
back.
all
aligned.
You know what? It was like it's like the picture in Back to the Future was like getting a little darker and darker. And then when we talked to you about what Dick Mentor is, and then you just did that,
You
all
stood
of a
up
sudden
and
we're
you
fully
said,
back.
You stood up and you said, "No, Biff. You leave her alone."
One of you gets on the phone and you're just like, "Hey, you got to hear this podcast. Your kids are gonna love it."
Oh man.
So we're finishing Crazy Stupid. I'm really excited.
Very stoked.
What we talked about is there are a lot of fingers in a lot of pie holes right now.
Yep.
Is that the expression?
That's the expression.
Is that what Dick Mentor does?
I have a friend who lives in Hong Kong. He's from London. I think he says that. He says, "I got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies."
McDonald's.
Pie
Lots
holes.
of fingers and lots of pie holes.
Yeah. Come on down to Annie Ann's Pretzels. Put your fingers in some pretzel holes.
Got a lot of fingers and I got a lot of pies.
Hi.
We got to plug up these pies.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Put a finger
in a pie. Like, do you guys know like the old adage that like the what was like the worst car that like our parents always talked about? It was like I don't know.
A Pinto?
Yeah,
Like a Ford Pinto or something like that?
There's some, it was like a story along with that, but there was something that like this car didn't sell well in some other country, and it like translated to like doesn't go or something.
Oh, was it Yugo?
Yeah.
Was it Yugo?
Maybe it was the Yugo.
And I think that was like, it was like Yugo. And then, yeah, it was something in like an Eastern European country. It meant like no go or doesn't go. Yeah.
And so I'm loving it. If you translate that into certain other countries, it's finger in a pie.
Finger in a pile. Dick
Bombing.
All right, so
we got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, and I'm just really excited to see what comes out of the oven.
One thing we did say that is really interesting in this one is that we do have, and this is just fingers and pie holes, but we got a lot of crossing storylines.
Yeah.
And a lot of stars.
Let's rip through it real quick. We have Steve Carell and his marriage. Will they get back together?
That's right.
Will Marissa Tomei come back out and be like, yeah, Steve, and it's me, the teacher.
How will that resolve? Do they become friends?
Right.
Does Marissa Tomei even find like a spark of anything?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The kid, does he somehow get any sort of resolution with the babysitter?
Yep.
Does the babysitter hook up with Steve Carell?
Yep.
What's going on with Gosling and Emma Stone? What's going on with
Stone.
Emma Stone and Groban?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
But there's a lot. What's going on with Bacon and Moore?
Oh yeah, Bacon and Moore have that one.
Yeah, Carell's doing dreams about sexy bacon mowing the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
A lot going on.
so much going on. This is a
And
great.
I don't know how any of it will end.
I don't either. Let's go watch.
But I
it.
will in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, da. Let's watch the shit.
Later, taters.
Crazy, Stupid, Love. Directed by John Requa and Glenn Vaquera. Cal Weaver, played by Steve Carell, is living the American dream. He has a good job, a beautiful house, great children, and a beautiful wife named Emily, played by Julianne Moore. Cal's seemingly perfect life unravels, however, when he learns that Emily has been unfaithful and wants a divorce. Over 40 and suddenly single, Cal is adrift in the fickle world of dating. Enter Jacob Palmer, played by Ryan Gosling, a self-styled player who takes Cal under his wing and teaches him how to be a hit with the ladies. And now, back to the boys.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Dudes,
Wow.
we're back.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That fucking movie.
It was great.
That might make my list. That
Yeah.
might make my like top 10 list. I'm not kidding. I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Well done. Well done movie.
That movie was so good.
That was an excellent movie. I'm really pumped up right now.
Now, first off, to the listeners out there,
Mm-hmm.
I get that this movie was a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
and I've seen it around, like, but has it just been too new to be considered like a modern classic? Because it made a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
but also I just didn't realize like how good it was.
It is so well written, so well acted.
Yeah.
Like just a great movie.
Yeah.
Man, that ending
Yeah.
just came together. Everything came together so well.
Yeah.
Whew.
Surprising yet inevitable.
You have all those fingers and all those pies. All those pies go in the oven. They all come out at the same time.
Do you know what's also really hard to do? It's really hard to do all of that when you know that, like, if you saw the end, like, it's easy to come up with like, okay, so this person, then this person, but you can't be able to call it. You can't be able to just.
I had no idea.
Right before you
Yeah.
started, you're like, I wonder if Emma Stone is like this. And I was like, and then when it happened, I was like, fuck.
Dude, it was like, it's so shocking.
Mm-hmm.
It's so shocking. And then once it happens, it makes
So much sense.
all right. Give the breakdown and we can get into it. But before we even get into it, just
Cory, you want to pull down this breakdown?
Oof.
you want to pull down your.
Yeah. Put on my drawers.
Want to pull down your
If you haven't
My
seen
London
it,
Bridge breakdown.
turn your head and
down.
cough.
I just want to tell everyone, if you haven't seen it, I don't know why you'd be listening to the third episode by now, but if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's on Netflix.
It's so
it is
good.
an incredibly good movie.
I'll also say this because we were talking about it before it happened. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, don't listen to the rest of this podcast because there will be some spoilers.
Major spoilers coming up.
Bookmark it. Come back and listen to it.
Hour
later.
and 40 minutes. Sit down, watch it. It's just
Dude,
an incredible movie.
I literally would go home and watch that movie again right now. Some popcorn.
Has Katie seen it?
It's like one of her favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to here? I'll break down and then y'all pop in for the things that I
John,
may miss.
all I want you to do is watch Crazy Stupid Love with me. You're like, A, I want to watch Predator with you. B, I'm going to watch it with my guy friends.
Yeah.
And my son.
And my son. I've never seen it.
When he's
See, the newest World of Warcraft expansion came out. No, it didn't yet.
So, okay. David Lindhagen, Bacon, him and Julianne Moore
Bacon.
on a date.
Yeah.
Go out on a date, come home. She kisses. Lindhagen plants one on her.
Yeah.
Plants a hog on her. And a babysitter.
Oink, oink.
What's babysitter's name again?
Julie.
Julie. Jules opens the door, sees him. Julianne Moore gets super flustered. Is like, this is, basically flustered. Babysitter gets mad. Babysitter goes home.
I don't want your slut money.
Yeah. Babysitter won't take Julianne Moore's money because she's
What does she call it?
She's no Judas.
Yeah.
Yeah, she calls her. Doesn't she call it slutty money? Slutty money.
Yeah.
Slutty.
And she says, "You're the only kid. Like your kids are the only kids I babysit."
Yeah.
She basically, she's like, "I love you and I love your family and I loved your husband more than anything."
Yeah.
And now you're running around on with the Hagen.
Nah, you freaking.
She goes home.
Such a good name too.
Yeah, Lindhagen. She goes home, does a nude photo shoot, pictures destined for Cal.
Yeah.
For Steve Carell. Then after that. This is where it might get a little fuzzy for me. I might need a little help. After that, Julianne Moore is sad, and Julianne Moore calls Carell, calls
out
Cal
in the yard.
who you realize he's in the yard spying in on her because he misses her.
Yeah.
Could be creepy, but not creepy. It's out of love.
Yeah.
And she calls him for help with the pilot light for something. Nothing's broken.
Nothing's broken.
Great scene where she's like, I need help with this thing. And he's watching her through the window and he's like, let me help you. I'm at home.
Does a scene like that have like a cinema name? Like where someone is lying? and
Dramatic irony.
I was going to call it a double heartbreak fake out.
He breaks your heart left. He breaks your heart right. He swooshes with a teardrop.
That scene was like so
Dramatic irony, yeah.
unique in a movie that's dramatic irony.
Dramatic irony.
What is the definition of dramatic irony?
Well, it's kind of double dramatic irony because
So we're talking quadruple.
what I had a joke about it. I think I talked about it in the. I say what dramatic irony is, and I forget in one of my shows. But dramatic irony is when the audience doesn't know, when the audience knows something that the characters don't. So that's double dramatic irony because Julianne Moore. So it's irony for Steve Carell if he was watching her and she didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's dramatic irony because we know that we can see Steve Carell lying and her lying. So I guess double dramatic irony.
It was just like such a unique scene.
Well, because
I've never
we're
experiencing
It's also like very, it was very heartfelt the way it was acted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just loved it.
It was great. So then after that, Gosling's gone dark, by the way, on Carell. Gosling and Carell finally get back in touch and Gosling's like, I'm a changed man.
Hi, I'm Ryan Gosling, but now I've gone dark. I'm dark Gosling.
Gosling gone dark. I've fallen in love. I'm gonna cut myself. I'm in love. I'm no longer doing the pickup artist gig. Welcome to Ryan Gosling. But now I'm back.
I worship Baal.
You say Bale?
Yeah.
He's in a heavy metal band. He's worshiping Satan. He's also kind of a Batman character. That's Gosling gone dark. And welcome to.
I'm always looking for this one. Nope. Where's the rock and roll one? Oh, that's what I was looking for.
Gosling gone dark. When we come back,
Yeah.
When we
We're gonna load
one assignment.
I know. I gotta load this thing up. I gotta load up for every movie.
or label make them.
Yeah, we gotta load them up.
Okay, go.
So Gosling calls Steve Carell and is like, "I'm a changed man. I've fallen in love. What do I do?" And like, I'm also meeting this person.
I'm meeting her parents.
Her mother today.
Yeah.
While this is happening, Steve Carell is like doing a project at Lowe's. He's like buying something for his wife with the kids.
Runs into the babysitter's dad, who they're not friends anymore.
Bernie. You're not sure what he's buying. And then this is the scene where everyone gets lindhogged.
Yep.
Everyone gets log jammed.
Yeah. And then the babysitter, Bernie's wife finds something in her daughter's drawer.
Yeah.
Which is a
Picture of her daughter.
Multiple pictures of her daughter naked.
She says.
How many times did we rewind it to
3?
And we had to default to subtitles.
Yeah.
Subtitles, because she says.
For JJ.
For JJ.
Yeah. She says that when she sees her daughter's naked pics.
And then she shows them to the dad. Which,
not a good move.
Not a great move.
Like, she shows him to the dad to be like, look what I found of your daughter. But she doesn't preface it with anything. She just puts it in front of him while he's watching television.
Pictures of your 16-year-old daughter. You go
17.
17. I found
not better.
Naked pictures of her daughter. You don't hand the father the pictures.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, you say, sweetheart, even if you're going to show that, you say, sweetheart, I need to show you something. You're not going to like it, but we have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And then do that. You don't just slide them in front of him while he's watching TV.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't want to see that.
Nobody wants to see that.
No.
No, I mean,
except for
I would. Well, no, I don't. Never mind.
What?
Steve Carell's son, Cal's son wants
She's
to see
17. I don't want to see it.
Cal's son wants.
Cal's son wants to see it
because he's in love with her and he's younger. Yeah. So then Bernie,
the actress is 24.
What's the call on the field for that then?
What? When when a character is,
I think the call on the field for all intents and purposes right now is I don't want to see that. I think that's the call.
No, stop you right there. I think
because
the call.
Kevin was like,
right now.
Kevin was like,
that's the call.
Kevin's gut reaction was like, I want to see that, and then he processed character 17. He's like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But then he's like, she was 24 when it was taken.
That was the actress.
So what's the call on the field?
Well, I mean, it's the same call on the field. We would go to the booth first off and do a replay, but we would do that.
Taking it to Chuck upstairs.
And it's like, that's. I mean, context everything. If it's just like, if you told that guy just like, want to see a picture of a naked woman, then he'd see it and he'd be like, whoa, it's my daughter.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So it's like if someone puts in your head that somebody is 17, I would be down to see naked pictures of a girl, but then I was like, oh, not a high schooler.
Yeah.
But the actress playing a high schooler.
You'd be down to see naked pictures of her.
As long as if I came right into the movie and they didn't tell me she was in high school, and I was like, and I just saw her IMDb.
Yeah.
Like if you were on set.
If I was on set.
If you were on set hanging out for a couple days.
So the call on the field is that it requires a lot of explanation. So it should probably be that you don't want to see.
And what we settled on was if we were on set, we'd ask the actress, not the character, can I see naked pictures of you?
I heard you're showing people naked pictures.
Right.
May I be one of those people?
May I be one of those people? And then there's an article that comes out about you in the Hollywood Reporter, and you never work in the business again.
Right.
And that's what the past few years have been about.
And that's the call on the field. Okay, so Bernie sees these pictures.
The Bud Light line for this episode's call on the field.
Hey, can we not have you judging whether it's okay to look at 17-year-old girls' naked pictures?
Even if you're trying to justify it with the actress being on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No,
Bud Light.
Sorry, Bud Light. This is sponsored by you.
Yeah.
Well, no, here's the thing.
We'll even take sponsorship from your shitty seltzer that you have.
Bud Light's out, but McDonald's UK is in.
Naked pictures? Yes, please.
From America, it's cozy.
Is it?
Yeehaw!
This is a dude. You know what I say in my head when I see a 24-year-old's naked pictures, but she's playing a 17-year-old in a movie? I'm loving it. I am loving it.
Those pictures, I'm glad we spent a lot of time talking about because those pictures we're going to talk about.
We're going to
later
talk about
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So
Bernie gets him,
the dad gets him
gets very mad.
red.
rightfully
Red.
so.
Seeing red. Rightfully
Like,
so.
dude, red.
Gets in his car and she's like, Daddy, no. Daddy, no. She sees that he sees him. He gets in the car, drives. She gets in the car behind him, drives. And then meanwhile, Cal shows up at his old house.
No, he's there. Julian Moore.
Oh, sorry.
gets
Yeah. This is why I need you. Cal's there. Julian Moore shows up as blindfolded. The son is wearing a baby blue tux jacket, and he says, "Mom, I got to lead you in here. There's a surprise. Dad's here."
Romantic music comes.
Romantic music. We see the Lowe's project that he's been working on.
Yeah,
It's
like
the mini golf hole.
that they met at. First.
Yep.
Windmill churning.
Yep.
Ooh.
And then you can tell he's about to set up something super romantic.
Julian Moore's still blindfolded.
Julian Moore's still blindfolded. And then
Emma Stone.
who walks in? Emma Stone, Nana. And then you're like, wait a second, what's Emma Stone doing here?
She says, "Hey, Daddy."
Yep.
Ryan Gosling's like, what?
And then, you see
Right.
Gosling walk in. So you find out.
Steve Carell.
And Carell says, no,
He's like,
no.
Yeah.
and
So you
out-
find out.
oh,
You find
man.
out that Emma Stone is his daughter, and this is the guy he's going to meet, and this is the mom he's going to meet.
I
Which
know
is
I'm
great.
super high on this movie right now, but that's got to be like one of the best scenes in movies.
I also didn't think about this when we watched it, but Gosling told Cal on the phone, "I'm going to meet her mother."
Yeah.
Steve Carell wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So Cal wasn't even supposed to be there.
Ah.
So it's not only like, had Cal not planned the romantic gesture, this would have just gone on for a while until it was like, well, I'm going to now go meet this guy's father, this girl's father.
Yeah.
So Cal wasn't even supposed to be
So,
there. So it's,
baseline that already is an insanely fun premise of like, who are you? Why are you here?
Right.
That's my daughter.
you're a dirtbag.
Right when Steve Carell is getting really worked up, Bernie comes in from the side,
Tackle.
and tackles him,
Yeah.
and they start fighting. Ryan Gosling wrestles Bernie, the father of the babysitter, off.
Babysitter also runs
And
in.
then right when
Jules.
right when Gosling has him in a headlock, like the cherry on top of the beautiful dramatic Sunday, Kevin Bacon walks in.
David Lindhagen. Lindhagen
Hey,
Hey guys,
And then Gosling walks up to Lindhagen.
like a true
sucker.
true bro move, takes off his ring and freaking jacks Linda.
says, who are you? He's like, you fucking ruined my
You
friend's
really
wedding."
hurt my friend.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he hits him. And then the cops show up and
And-
then everything's wrecked.
And before the cops show up, and we'll break it down more.
yeah.
Before the cops show up, like Gosling goes to like lay down, put himself on the line,
Mm-hmm.
and then Steve Carell still at the end is just like, you're not allowed to see my daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
And still like, you think he's like, hey, thanks for having my back. You can't, he's just, the fun is over and he's like fucking pissed, which
Yeah.
is kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, definitely. And then what's even more heartbreaking to me is then he sees his son who he's in when Cal leaves, when Carell leaves, he sees his son who he's involved in this whole plot to get his wife back.
Yeah.
And he just, after he's built this thing, he just goes, go home, go big or go home, huh, bud? And the kid just goes, go home, Dad.
Oh, man.
And then we do a great montage of flashing forward in time of just showing everyone's like messed up world. The kid, the son is deleting Jules's number. Jules is embarrassed in her room.
Yeah.
All I gotta see familiar faces, worn out places. No, 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 no.
That's not in it, but
No,
it's not.
but that's like the
but
vibe.
that's the vibe.
That's the vibe.
It's a sad vibe. I picked up where you're going.
And I kind of find it funny. I find it
Who
kinda
sings that
sad
song?
when it's crazy. Stupid loving is making me real mad.
Is it Supergrass?
No, I forget. It's
Okay.
just from Donnie.
Donnie Darko. And yeah, and Ryan Gosling's like telling Emma Stone, call your dad, and he's not doing it. So then we have a last scene at the bar. Steve Carell's been at the bar for a long time. He's been hanging out. He's like drunk, drinking in the middle of the day. Ryan Gosling comes in and like is like, your kids miss you. You need, like, what are you doing here? I love your daughter. And Steve Carell's like, stop giving me parenting advice.
Right.
Like, leave me alone. And he's like, you know, your son's 8th grade graduation is coming up. You should go to it. And that's where the movie ends. It's 8th grade graduation. The son makes a really like depressing when he's
Well, the son
I
just
thought you were about to be like, and that's where the movie ends. I thought you were doing a bit. Like,
Oh,
the
no.
movie's over then.
yeah.
no, the graduation
Yeah,
scene.
Yeah, the graduation scene. Yeah, the son gets up. Well, Marissa Tomei
So great.
gets up and says, you know, this is one of the most outspoken students that I've had. And fantastic joke line. Marissa Tomei gets up. The youngest daughter just goes, she's pretty.
And
Julianne Moore's
like,
like,
shut up.
Shut up.
So good.
And then, but yeah, the kid gets up and does a speech about how love,
Shits the bed pretty hard.
yeah, it's just like love. You know, I used to believe in love. I don't believe in it anymore. And finally, Steve Carell impulsively Cal stands up and just says, stop.
Mhm.
And then Gosling, who's there with Emma Stone, is like, oh no.
Mm.
And then Cal gets up and gives a heartfelt speech about how he met someone. He took her out for ice cream, and his dad made fun of him for going on his first date. And he said, Dad, I'm going to date tons of women. And then he said, that's the first time I ever lied to my dad.
Yeah.
Because I didn't date any more women.
Yeah.
And we also find out with the Gosling connection that they got pregnant with Emma Stone at 17, which is why they got together so young. But now he says that he doesn't regret anything about it. And then
He makes the grand romantic
gesture.
that his son has been looking for. And yeah, kind of it all wraps up really nice and sweet. Everyone's like on good terms. Cal gives the Gosling his blessing, and then last thing we see.
So, well, then Carell and Julianne Moore have a really beautiful moment
Yeah.
where they're just standing there awkwardly. The movie ends, you don't know. I mean, you have a feeling, but Steve Carell even says like, and I don't know what's going to happen.
right.
And then outside, they just have like, they don't even kiss. She's just like, I've missed you. I don't know what the lines are specifically, but it's just like, she's fucking bringing out the Academy Award level acting of just like holding tears back. And he's looking at her, and you can just tell they've been through a lot, but they love each other. And then John,
Robbie, the little high school kid, goes up to the babysitter and he's like, you know, I'm gonna look like my dad in 10 years. I'll go after you then. And she's like, I think that's a good plan. And he sticks out his hand to shake her hand. What does she give him?
She says, didn't she say like this will tide you over till then, or these will get you through college?
Get you through high school.
Through high school.
Just hands him a stack of naked pictures of herself.
Wow.
And then walks away. I feel like that little kid is such a little Kevin Doyle. When he was giving his speech, and he's like, I wasn't ashamed what I was doing in the dark under the covers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And his dad
That is a little
goes in,
Kevin
he's like, I'm
Doyle.
not going to be embarrassed about it. That is like so. That is so you. And dude, if you were going into 9th grade and the 17-year-old gave you some naked pics, how pumped would you have been?
It's what's kind of amazing about that storyline and the end of it is it's like, it's so riding the line of like, it's fucking creepy and awesome. Like they've done the work for it to be like, you know what? This is not okay and perfectly okay at the same time.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
every single straight boy who lived through 8th grade like immediately connected with that kid and was like,
It's the dream.
Man, I am so jealous.
What if he just whipped out a smartphone and he was like, I already got all this, and just starts scrolling through Pornhub? He's like, okay, hey, hit me when you get some pro photos.
These are just nudes. I'm really into bukkake. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. They're just ruined. But yeah,
Probably what it's like nowadays. That's really sad.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure it is sad.
Yeah,
Dude,
totally.
When I was a freshman, our high school for years, they would have senior skip day.
Mhm.
Where like all the seniors would just leave the school and go to the beach or whatever. It was a tradition in my school for senior skip day.
That's because you went to a John Hughes high school.
Yeah, I went to.
Yeah.
I did.
You did.
Everyone would go out, and there was like a huge semicircle where like people could pull in, and we had a huge, gorgeous front lawn. And all of the senior girls would get in their Jeeps, and they would just ride around the front of the school topless.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
100%.
Like you went to an 80s movie
It
high
was
school.
the weirdest thing.
Really?
It was crazy.
Like this is going back to our discussion about the babysitter pictures. Those were 17-year-olds doing that.
Yes.
That is
And
so.
like all the freshmen would just be in the front lawn, just watching the attractive high school seniors just drive around naked.
Did the guys drive around with their dongs flapping?
No, the guys would drive the girl. The guys would be driving.
Wow. Like you went to an 80s. You went to
Porky's.
Yeah. You went to Porky's and
it
made
made
16
no
candles.
sense. It made no sense why it happened. And then by the time it like got to my grade, they stopped doing that. But like for the first 2 or 3 years I was there, that did
Which is a bummer because some of the girls in your grade probably had some great tits.
hey,
It's kind of a bummer.
isn't that crazy?
That is really crazy.
Yeah.
I did realize one cool thing about this movie is that now that we've been watching so many of these movies, you get 3 age ranges. So you get some of the high school stuff that you get from like Clueless or 10 Things I Hate About You, which we're watching, you know, like not a lot.
Yeah.
Then you get some of like the middle range courting, dating, hooking up, kind of classic Sex in the City type stuff, really. That's like, this is how you have game. And like, are you hooking up? Or are you finding love?
Right.
Like Ryan Gosling is like kind of like I don't know if there's another movie version, but it's like Carrie Bradshaw-ish, but he's like a playboy.
Yeah.
That range. And then you have the higher range of like older, more complicated love and divorce and cheating. And you're playing all those notes.
Yeah.
It's like those could be 3 separate stories.
Yeah.
We've talked about how we've thought about on the back wall here, making the Pepe Silva chart of rom-coms. And when that movie ended, I was like, I feel like the writer there had to be a visual web. In his head,
100%.
but at least it was just like, okay, this person, this level of relationship, this level, this kind, like it touches on so many different things.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
How do you create that story? It's just so insane.
Well, I love movies, but usually I love movies. No, I love movies that do this, and it became like a pretty
Wait,
big...
what just happened in your head right there? Because you came in with like, I love movies, and then you're like, I love movies.
No,
you had to assure yourself that you loved them, and then
I was
you
going to say,
conceded like, I love movies.
I said I love movies that do this. But I put a break and I stopped at movies, and I thought it'd just be funny if I was like, I love movies.
Oh,
But I love movies that do the weaving together.
oh my gosh!
And then when it's done, but it was done so well with, you know, like Magnolia, and then there's this movie called,
I need to see that
Crash
movie.
kind of
So good.
sucks, but like Crash tried to do it about like racism.
Mhm.
And it's like not that great. And Brokeback Mountain should have won Best Picture that year, but
Hot takes with Kevin.
That is a I think that's a take from it is a hot take, but it's a take from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because Brokeback is such a good movie,
Yeah.
which we need to watch.
Never seen it.
It's also a good mountain.
It's
It's,
a good mountain.
a great mountain.
dude, that's the best mountain to have gay sex on.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to watch Brokeback.
Speaking of things going on outside your marriage, that's a great
That
mountain.
is a great
It's a
mountain.
great mountain. That's some crazy stupid love. Right
Dude,
there.
if I ever run into the character Jake Gyllenhaal from Brokeback Mountain, I'll be like, what's your favorite mountain? There's only one, dude.
You'd be like, Vale.
Yeah.
I'm a big snowboarder.
I like Banff.
But there's another one called like 13 Conversations About One Thing.
Yeah.
And when it came out, I watched it and I loved it. And I haven't heard about it since, but I remember it being one of these movies that my guess, if I went back and watched it, it would be good,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. But I think that one was probably almost a little too surgical. That's like so many different things and then they all come together.
Mm-hmm.
This was done as a fucking secret.
Yeah.
This was not, this was just like, it slowly came together because it wasn't like, it's kind of easy to be like, oh, and then at the end, they are all at this car crash.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have relationships. You just have to choose a thing.
Right.
This was fucking crazy
Stupid.
and stupid and loved because it was done in a way that explored all these different subjects. And then when they're all in the same room at the end, there's not a single person where you're just like, yeah, but why is the bartender there?
Yeah.
Right.
Why is the bartender that served, like, she wouldn't be at the,
Right.
You're like, no, all of these people, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I would love to listen to how the writer came up with this idea.
Dude.
Well, it says the
Yeah.
writer, he started writing it in 2009, came out in like 2012. I mean, there's not a lot of info on it on our main source, Wikipedia, but it'd be great to, I guarantee you there's an interview out there with it you should read, but it says that he started writing it about love amongst a group of people, and it was based on his own experiences. And he wrote it with
Whoa.
Carell in mind. And then it started,
You can tell that when Carell is going through his first night sleeping with Marissa Tomei's character,
Mhm.
you can tell that scene in particular was written for Steve Carell. It's
Yeah.
very
40-year-old.
Yeah.
virgin.
Yeah.
Totally. They said Carell read it, and within a week he was like, I'm in. And
Yeah.
it started with a $2.5 million budget. It's pretty low.
Yeah.
You know what the final budget was?
It was like $30 million.
50.
How did they even, I don't even know what they spent that on.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, you got to think about it, probably star fees. You got all those stars.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what it is. That it's just like they kept on their, like,
I mean, you probably
we got Julianne Moore. We got
Gosling.
we got
We got Emma Stone.
Yeah.
They it was mainly
Marissa Tomei.
inkjet ink because someone from the set kept on stealing the pictures, Kevin.
the pictures. And those cartridges.
Some guy
are
just hanging
expensive.
out.
Yeah.
I will say that one of the things that, I mean, there's such a difference between A-list and B-list,
Mhm.
and even A-list and A- list,
Mhm.
that it's like, I've heard other people say this, but it's like in Entourage, they don't buy that Adrian Grenier is
Is the
Aquaman. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
he's a great actor, but it's like, you don't buy that and there is
That's people's criticism of Entourage.
Yeah, that's one thing I couldn't get on board
Yeah.
with.
that's one thing.
Yeah, not the fact that his fucking driver Turtle becomes like a successful business mogul.
Yeah.
Or that Johnny Drama is like a celebrity.
Yeah. It's like,
Or that his buddy from the Bronx is his agent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see why Entourage is problematic now. 'Cause Adrian Grenier's character couldn't possibly be in Medellin.
Oh man. That's funny, John. That's real funny.
Thanks, guys.
But in this, the difference between who else would have been cast as Ryan Gosling, even if you get someone who's like incredible,
Yeah.
getting someone at Gosling's level takes this movie to the
Dude,
next level.
100%.
Or even I'd say the same for Steve Carell, because I'm not, sometimes when it's full comedy, I'm not the biggest Carell head.
Yeah.
But in this, man, those fucking tear jerking moments,
Yeah.
to be able to hit those notes of what actor did we mention when we talked last time, John? There was somebody that we mentioned that it's like, if they would have done it, they would have bombed on the comedy.
Yeah.
And he just nails the comedic moments.
Dude,
and then
so freaking good, man.
you get Julianne Moore, her tearing up.
Jeez.
Fuck,
That
she's
movie
so
was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
What this is like a good thing I want to talk about,
Okay.
which is like one of the coolest moments too was when Steve Carell explains why he doesn't give his blessing.
Mhm.
Because as a character, you're like, you're wrong currently right now.
Yeah.
But he's like, when it just says, he's like, I know too much. I'll never give you the blessing. I just know too much. And I feel like, and then what's Gosling come back with?
Uh,
I don't remember.
You're a good father, Cal.
you
oh
good
yes,
father-
yes, yeah.
Like
yeah,
that
yeah.
right there
Totally. Yeah.
is like, is just two men who had this connection of like, this is how you fuck. Like that was like their whole connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he hasn't seen Gosling's not revolution, change,
Mm-hmm.
he hasn't seen his evolution
Evolution.
yet, and so he can't totally trust it. But that was kind of like both of them, like Steve Carell's shame of being like, I fucked 9 people and I miss my wife still,
Mm-hmm.
and Ryan Gosling being like, yeah, I fell in love and I am a scumbag. I hurt so many women,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And I just thought that moment was like so good,
So
and
good.
so justified in all of their characters.
It also, when we talked about like good writing and storytelling, there's the whole like full character journey as they
Mhm.
come back to they end up in the same place but changed,
Mhm.
and that's physically they ended up in the same place that they met each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they meet in the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And,
they
like,
met
it
each other
just-
there,
yeah.
but they're in totally different places.
Well, it's interesting because Steve Carell's character is actually not in a different place. He's like at that scene, he is still
Choosing.
yeah, he is still down. He's lower than he was. He's
True,
like there
yeah.
drinking during the day, like not just complaining about David Lindhagen, but now lamenting over the fact that Lindhagen's this, his son hates him, his daughter's dating a scumbag. So he's like in a worse.
That's true. I guess he hasn't finished his journey yet.
Yeah, he's like right at the bottom yet. Where he, I think his end point is like it's after the graduation when he's like, dressed nice, more confident.
Yeah.
I think also his maybe it's not the end of his journey, but the choice that he makes is seeing how his behavior because he tried really hard. That's what's kind of crazy when you try and like change, but you haven't changed the underlying part of things. He tried really hard. That's so romantic what he did for Julianne Moore, and then he fucked it up because whether you're talking about like spirituality or storytelling of like or therapy of like, but he has not hit rock bottom. He hasn't dealt with his like hubris yet.
Yeah.
His pride of or whatever, because he wants to choose her, but he hasn't he gets thrown for quite a wrench.
Yeah.
But still, like, that's why when his son says like, go home, Dad, because he makes a fool out of himself because he hasn't been like, who am I? But then what's really cool is then seeing his change happens when he sees like his behavior and how it's affected his son and not just himself.
Yeah.
Because when you're at a bar drinking, you're feeling bad for yourself almost no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
In some way. And he's just like, all this stuff happened to me. And then to see like, oh shit, my son was so happy and look what has happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought that was pretty powerful.
Yeah. What do you think Tomei does after this?
She flicks Steve Carell off as he's giving his heartfelt speech.
Yeah.
She's back at the bar.
You think her and Lindhagen hook it up?
Ooh.
They should.
They totally should. Yeah.
They should. I mean, I wonder, that's maybe kind of where this is good, that it's like you think for a while of like, what could her resolution be?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you don't need it because there's so many bows tied up. But her just like giving the finger, I guess I don't need to force it, but it's like maybe that's her just being like, yeah, when you do that shit, like you hurt people. Why? She doesn't give a fuck that it's like, well, I'm glad you're back together.
No, she got caught up in the blades of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Totally. In the Lawnmower of Love. That's a punk song. It's called Lawnmower of Love. And then there's just a part where it just says, sometimes we get caught up in the blades.
It's true.
It's very true. She got caught up in the blades.
I mean, I'm sure there's going to be 42 girls.
Jackie Robinson.
There's going to be 42 girls all on a text chain, all just being like, you see fucking Gosling, like, oh, you're in love now?
Oh, he'll become,
yeah,
what was the West Elm meme? The guy from West Elm?
Caleb.
West Elm Caleb. That's who Gosling is.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, you're getting married now?
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
Remember the year and a half you were into choking?
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Oh, now he's married and into choking.
I don't know if she's into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
Let me get this on the record now. I'm not.
I'm not. But we're not. Were we?
You have experience.
Wait, what?
It's in his special.
Choking.
Oh, that's right. That's it. Yeah.
It's just like,
He's into joking.
I'm
not
into joking.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched that show Impractical Chokers?
Yeah.
This was an awesome movie. We hope you loved it. We hope you loved the conversation that we had. It was so fun. If you haven't already, please check out our Patreon. We got new exciting things on Patreon. What movies have we done on Patreon?
Princess Bride. We did a Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman. Princess Bride.
We got really good shit on the Patreon.
We did Pretty Woman. We did Princess Bride. We did.
There's others.
You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail. That's what it was. Yeah.
We're building it out.
We're getting our heads straight.
But check out our Patreon.
We're also throwing up Sex and City rewatches. We're doing some on the main feed. We're gonna at some point watch all of Sex and the City again.
Yeah.
Check out the videos on YouTube. We made fun of it for so long, but mash that like and subscribe button. Stop by there.
What's up, YouTube?
Drop us comments. We're just trying to grow this thing. You can't be mad about that.
Yeah. We're trying to just keep on building until more and just like that. We want your suggestions for any movies. We're working on getting some interviews going with cast members from and just like that. And just like people out in the world that want to talk. I mean, people want to talk about Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And we want to talk to people about that in rom-coms. So if you have any suggestions,
what we should do? We should have Dan Clay on because he just came out with a book.
Oh,
and
cool.
We should find out what his favorite rom-com is and watch it with him.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
You should totally do that.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. Let us know any movies we should watch. Join the Patreon. Give us a like and subscribe and review. And we love you.
Later, taters.
Later, taters.
The Bradshaw Boys stars Cory Cavin, Kevin James Doyle, and Jon Sieber. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Balon, and narrated by Katie Sieber. This podcast is part of the Seltzer Kings Network. Check out all their great podcasts at seltzerkings.com. You can find the boys on their socials at The Bradshaw Boys or on their website at thebradshawboys.com. And as always, if you see them in the street, tip your glass. Thanks for listening.